internet money.
Yeah, where is our internet money?
I think this is a good intro. This is fine.
This is an awful intro. No.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of Splitting Pixels. We have made it to the half decade. That's amazing.
Did we?
Is that a thing? Half decade?
I think so.
It is now.
So I thought I'd start off today. I've seen a lot of images for these really cool Star Wars collector's toys. There's a Boba Fett and a Stormtrooper, and they've been made by the Square Enix guys, and they kind of make them look a little bit like samurais. It's really cool.
Why is Square Enix making them?
Well, they've gone into like a range of making figures recently.
It just seems like that's something Disney should be handling.
Yeah, I'm guessing
That's
it's I don't know what it is, but they've been doing them for a few things, not just their own games recently.
Fair enough.
But it got me thinking about collectibles and the ridiculous amount of crap I have around my house and the amount of money I spend on these things. And I was wondering if any of you guys have any things that you like to collect, or if there's any particularly cool things out there that you were maybe looking to start collecting.
I think we should start with Matt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we need to have an intervention for you, buddy.
I have a very sparse existence. I could fit all my clothes into one. No. All my belongings. No. My belongings into one little thing.
Into one jumper.
I'm imagining I'm like one of those.
A
Like a hanky
bindle.
on a stick.
Yeah.
A what?
A bindle.
Bindle. That's
Hanky
it.
on a stick?
Yeah, it's called a bindle.
No.
Well, no.
You're a bindle.
How very dare you, madam.
Yeah, I have quite a lot of things.
So is that provided that the stick is made from Lego
Yeah,
And-
just get to the point.
and
Matt.
is 20 feet long?
Well, technically, you're going into Technic there if you want to.
Right, okay.
It'll be one of those.
Well, surely that's what you're
axles.
riding around on.
Well,
It's like
yeah,
a little
actually.
Technic motorbike.
No, but Lego is a huge thing in my life. It's awesome. But what else? Lego and art books. I have a real thing for buying art books and not reading enough of them.
I actually have a similar thing. I've got art books for games that I haven't even enjoyed that much. I just really like the art style, but I guess that's
No, the art
why
style's fine.
why you buy an art book. I have one of the Halo Building Worlds books, and it's gorgeous. It's got a lot of environmental art and shows you how they create all the specific races and the weapons and stuff. It was really cool. So yeah, one of my collections is definitely video game art books. I bought one recently, mainly just to taunt Alice with.
Yes, shut up.
But the first book of Thedas, which
What's that? I have no idea.
so Thedas is part of the world that Dragon Age is set in.
Okay.
It literally stands like it's an initialism. An acronym? Not an initialism.
I like that word. That's good.
Because it's the Dragon Age setting. So,
Oh!
Thedas.
Oh, mine just got blown. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Although that's kind of like a lazy... I don't know. It seems like, oh, we didn't want to come up with a cool acronym, so it's just the Dragon Age setting, which sounds cool.
I get the feeling it's probably just like it was bandied around the office for ages, and then they were like, it works actually. Yeah, let's just keep
It
that.
sounds
I mean,
mystical.
no one's really worked it out. It's not like everyone's just like, oh, well, that's obvious. That's lazy. Wow.
Has that actually been officially confirmed that that's the case, or is this like
Yeah. I
you
think probably
up
on
late at
Twitter.
night, like with lots of books in front of you?
Drawing red lines
I
between
Yeah.
actually
pictures.
Yeah.
print out all of Mark Dara's tweets and stuff. Just put them on my wall. Where's the secret message? What's the next DLC?
Didn't people do that with Fez? People are still doing that with Fez.
Well, the problem with that is that Phil Fish is the kind of conceited person who would put something like that in.
Let's not talk about Phil Fish because it could get nasty.
Yeah.
Although the first thing, I remember seeing my brother's sketchbook.
Uh-huh.
I forget why I was leafing through it, but I got to the pages of Fez, and it's
Mhm.
just these crazy codes and things, and it scared me
That's
to play
awesome.
before I played that game. But
Yeah.
he went into it a little bit too far. But very cool if you want to.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Anything that you really like collecting?
Collecting is for people with money. Like, that is my main.
But what would you like to collect if you had money?
More money.
More money.
Yeah,
I believe what you've described as investment banking.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
No, I guess, I don't know, does achievements count?
Well, I guess that, yeah.
Yeah, and I like...
They are very collectible.
I like amiibos, as I said in the previous episode, but I don't think I want to collect them because there's a lot of characters that I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
So I don't really want... I just quite like the ones that are characters that I do like.
But do you think that by the time you got all the characters that you do like, you'd be like, oh, well, why would I... Say for example, you didn't like Bowser.
Right.
Like, oh, well, I've got Mario. I've got to have the bad guy from Mario.
I'd get things from the same franchise that I like.
Okay.
Like, no one really likes Bowser, he's an asshole. But I'd probably still get him just because it's in a Mario world. But I wouldn't get anything from, like, Kid Icarus because I've never played those games.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, it's not that I'd pick and choose characters from franchises. I'd get just from the franchises that I like. Although, I don't really like the Pikachu amiibo, even though Pokemon is very dear to me.
He's very simple. He's like a
yeah.
very simple design, and he's tiny.
Like, you could just get a Pikachu toy if you were just going to get it for the collection.
Or like a plushie thing.
Yeah,
I imagine there's plenty.
Yeah. And hats. Oh god. Forget that bit. Don't put it in.
Yeah, there we go. So Pokemon. If you could, you would collect Pokemon.
Well, I guess I kind of do in the game. You've got to catch them all,
Mm-hmm.
Just...
Wow.
Yeah. Carry on.
Well, I've got my evolutions that are slowly making their way onto my desk.
Yeah.
So are these Nintendo endorsed? Like, do you buy them from the Nintendo site or something? Or?
They're Takara Tomies.
All right, okay.
So, like, they're actually imported from Japan.
Are these
which
the
is why
links
they're
that
taking
keep
so
popping
well.
up in the chat? And I'm like,
because,
what?
Graham wants a Psyduck because fucking it's
Psyduck.
Graham.
Psyduck. I remember preferring. He's the one who always seems like he's got an ice cream headache, right?
Yeah.
He's always got brain freeze.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
He was meant to appear like him.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, I agree, he is. I didn't like that. So.
Like, what? Like he always orders like a starter and a couple of drinks.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Demands to split the bill even.
Yeah, that
he's
kind of
that
stuff.
guy.
Oh.
Jeez.
And he's only good at being a good Pokemon when he has a migraine, and that's kind of unfair on him, to be honest.
Yeah.
To have a migraine.
Well, we could go down the rabbit hole of animal abuse in Pokemon games, but that's pretty much the central premise.
Yeah.
Make them fight.
I don't know. I've been noticing recently there's way more animal abuse in like the Harry Potter universe. Like they're transfiguring all these animals, and I'm like, what's happening to it? It's like a teapot with legs, and I'm like, what is that animal thinking?
They just throw it away and it shatters in the corner.
J.K. Rowling's never explicitly said it, but the brooms are sentient and they hate it.
Yeah. And it's like they have to turn, in one of the books, they have to turn a hedgehog into a pincushion, and they just get like a pincushion with a nose, and I'm like, does it have feelings? It's really sad.
Especially if they're jabbing pins into it.
Yeah, it's sad.
Anyway,
Collections.
yeah, the things that I'd actually like to collect, which I don't collect because they're horrendously expensive because they are actually collectibles,
Yeah.
is the Clarecraft Terry Pratchett Discworld models.
Oh, right.
I think you've showed me them actually.
Yeah, because they're...
I think I've seen the Death on a Motorbike is one of them,
yeah,
right?
They're like all of them. But I saw the Great Atuin one, which is like massive, and I was like, well, I need that.
Is that like a centerpiece for the coffee table or something?
It just,
What are we talking about here? I don't follow.
Discworld, Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, but what are these models? What?
I think
scale?
they're little
They're
die
like-
casts.
Just character
Like
models.
little ones like that, but the Great Atuin is like
Audio
a big...
podcast, Alice.
They're a couple of inches tall, but the Great Atuin one is great because it's massive. It's
Size
Yeah.
of like a houseplant for those listeners who can't
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
Alice's hand movements.
maybe like a foot
What is the?
Is that
the
about a
Tatooine?
foot?
Is it
Oh, right.
He's
so
the
that's
turtle.
yeah.
okay.
with
right.
the elephant.
Have you seen
and
Have you
Discworld.
seen much of the artwork? From
Yes, I know
Discworld?
that. I know
Yes,
that.
the Great Atuin is the turtle.
Gotcha.
So
That
I
makes a
wanted
lot
that.
of sense.
So
But then I looked it up and it's like £500
Ooh.
because
yeah.
it's actual collectibles.
how
like,
limited are they? Do
they're
you know?
quite
And
limited.
probably
Like, you
even
can
more
only
so now, R.I.P.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
only find them like on eBay.
Yeah, I sent you guys a link today. I don't know if you saw it, but there's
oh no,
been
my IM was messing up. And I couldn't
there's
look at it.
been graffiti popping up
Yeah,
in London
I
and
already
Bristol,
saw it.
and it's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. it's well done.
Like kind of commemorative Terry Pratchett art. One of like death on Binky, his horse, kind of rearing up, and a big one of Terry Pratchett's face. You know,
Yeah.
that was really really cool. It's always nice to see good graffiti. It's so sick of seeing naff graffiti.
There's
so.
one around Edinburgh, and it's just like really crudely written. It says "vote no," and then the no is crossed out, and it says "yes" beside it. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wash it away.
Yeah, it's always funny when you see ironic graffiti.
I couldn't tell what they were going for with that one, to be honest. I don't know if
There used to be one near my house that was wall, what is it good for? And then the wall was knocked down, so I think that kind of answered the question.
It was you, wasn't it? That sounds
It
like
wasn't
you.
me.
It was the inspiration for.
It was the inspiration for many a pun in my life.
I wish someone videoed the wall being knocked down and put war in the background of it, so just as like the mallets going to the wall, it's like,
Yeah. It's not good for anything.
and then just like, like sad music.
Apart from maybe gravel in your driveway.
Yeah.
I just remembered another thing I collected.
That's cool. I figure we just talk about our ridiculous collections, because I've got a few things here.
This is ridiculous. Well, please go. No, you go first.
No,
I think
Matt
you
goes
moved
first. I
around.
want to
I want to know.
Well,
Is it embarrassing? I hope it's embarrassing.
I like it, but I don't even know where I kept them. But when I was younger, you know, you got all these free things from Tetley Tea. Like the houses, the people, teapots, all sorts of
No.
crazy stuff. Do you not remember this?
I don't.
It was Alice talking about these Discworld things because I immediately
Well, how
pictured
young were you?
I was seeing in black and white. It was
Right, okay.
Because we probably weren't born.
Yeah.
That's harsh. That's so harsh. No, it was. I don't know. It's a good over a decade ago, easily.
I don't know what you're talking about, but we'll look it up and put it in the blog anyway.
Yeah.
I would have been in my teenage years, probably too old to be thinking this stuff was awesome. But it was just free with tea bags, and I lived in a house that drank a lot of tea, so eventually you say, well, I'll have this one, and obviously I won't get a double. So
I think the closest thing I've got to that is maybe things that came free in like cereal
Yeah.
boxes, but it was normally like whenever there's a World Cup, you would get like a football or like some Panini. Did anyone collect Panini stickers?
I think
my
I
brother
did.
does now.
Yeah.
Really? They still sell them?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I
I mean,
see.
he has 3 sons, so that's okay.
Oh.
A filled-in book from like I don't know whenever, like the mid-90s.
Mm.
If you've completed that and it's in good condition, they are actually worth something.
I used to collect them and then I realised I don't like football.
Yeah.
So I gave up with that one.
Yeah, I actually have a thing that's a little bit similar to that, which is one of the few collections that I know I definitively completed. When episode 1, it was. I think it was when episode 1 was coming out. Walker's Crisps did these things called Tazos.
Yeah, I remember those.
I've got them all, yeah.
They did a Star Wars range and like a collector's book that you could put them all in, and like they were a bit like Pogs, if anyone remembers Pogs.
Yeah.
I also collected Pogs for a little while. But the actual picture on the front of the Tazo you put into the book, and it completed the picture on the book.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
The final page was only the last 5 were only with Doritos or something.
yeah, it was. But
I loved Star Wars.
I know it's an audio podcast, but you can maybe even tell by my voice that I like Doritos. It's just maybe
I don't know what you're talking
it's
about.
maybe just the laboured breathing and the silence that does it. But yeah, I definitely completed that book, and I've got like a box of memories, you know, like things from my childhood that I have that in there.
See, I know what Tazes and Pogs are, but Panini sticker? Why have you got stickers
They're
of
just
roasted sandwiches?
you buy them.
no,
and
no.
they were like footballers.
That's how you get the back off them. Like you've got to put them in a press, and
They
then
were like the sort of thing that
Is it Panini?
No,
Panini's
it
the
is-
company.
Right,
Oh,
okay.
It's like they're the sort of stickers you buy from behind the till in like a supermarket. You know,
Right,
that,
okay.
those sort of things.
But
For
I think
for
you're
those who
wrong
can't
for
tell, Matt is crippled, and I'm trying to figure out if Alice genuinely didn't know. And
I
thought,
don't know what
Here's
they
a cheese
were.
and ham sticker.
Yeah.
And here's a cheese
Like-
and tomato sticker.
That's great.
It just reminded me of the logo of Panini. I thought it was this really crazy, deformed guy with a long arm. But it turns out
it's like a ham and cheese sandwich.
it's a knight with a
Oh,
joust.
A lance.
Yeah.
A lance, that's right.
Is
yeah.
it a lance
for
or
years
is it
I
a
thought it was this
panini?
crazy.
Well, no, that's basically because back in those days they didn't have sandwich presses, so they had to like skewer the sandwich and then just cook it over a fire.
True facts.
Yes, that's a science fact. So one of the more recent and insidious ones that I know we all know about, and I know Alice has at least one of them, is the Funko Pops.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I have 2 of them.
I have a baby dancing Groot one.
Oh yeah, that one was super popular after
Yeah.
that film.
He was
I want to
cute.
eat that.
Yeah, the dancing Groot is really cool. I don't think very many of them. Kara's the one that's really gotten into them.
Mm-hmm.
She has one that. Did you end up getting your Wishverse Willow from Buffy? Or
No,
no?
because I want Dark Willow, and
Right.
it doesn't exist yet, so I refuse.
Well, they normally launch like a kind of test the water range, don't they? And then if they're successful, they push it into like a wider range.
There are a lot of random like franchises that Funko Pop make, and I'm like, why does anyone want figurines of this?
Yeah, like the Arrested Development ones.
Well, that's a
What?
bit random. Like they're
Yeah.
just people. It's not like they have cool outfits
Like,
or anything.
Buster has a hook, I guess.
I guess like that's the only one I would want. I think, or unless there's a Tobias one where he's blue,
Blue.
and wearing like denim hot pants.
Yeah, yeah, that would be
started
funny.
now, but you've got 2. You'd want. Oh well, maybe we'll get the Mad Sister. Maybe we'll get. Yeah.
Lucille's
Yeah.
pretty cool, I guess.
There you go.
See, I don't know if they could do it. I mean, they're already very stylized and they already have a very distinctive look to them. But I'd love to see an Archer series of
That would be
Funko
awesome.
Pops.
Yeah,
That's probably a thing that's in the pipeline because everything is.
probably.
Um,
And if they did Bob's Burgers as well, I'd be on that. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't keep up with Funko Pops. But
Mhm.
you know how there's like subscription boxes for everything.
Yeah,
There's a Funko Pop.
Yeah,
subscription
yeah,
box.
I know.
But again, I'm like,
it's too
what
expensive.
if it's just a random franchise that I don't care about?
Yeah, like a
can
True Blood one.
do
Why?
you think you can select like what franchises you like, but
I
then it seems a
don't
bit
think
pointless.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so.
You could sell it on eBay.
I guess.
The-
Or like maybe there's a trade forum where you
I
can
think
add
there
to
is.
that.
Well, a website that I used to go to a lot was QWERTY. I guess
Yeah.
that's one thing I collected and didn't even know I did,
Mhm.
was T-shirts.
Oh yeah. Same.
Yeah, I have far too many kind of nerdy T-shirts, and QWERTY have the regularly to like get rid of stock. They'll have a sale, and then they'll
Yeah.
just you just pay like half the normal price, and then they'll ship you a random one,
Mhm.
and then you can meet people online and like swap T-shirts and
I've
stuff.
been quite lucky with the Insanity sales.
Mhm.
Like, I got a Back to the Future shirt, a Game of Thrones shirt, a Guardians of the Galaxy shirt, and a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy shirt.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, like that was from. I bought 2 each time I did the sale. Very
See,
awesome.
they went through a period on QWERTY of doing far too much Doctor Who, and that's
Yes.
one facet of fandom I just don't get into it
Yeah, I
really.
don't
So,
care.
but yeah, cool.
Was Matt going to say something? You looked like you wanted to say something when we were talking about Funko Pops.
No, I don't understand. I love action figures as well. It's
Mhm.
it's not a crazy collection thing. I just used to love playing with like second-hand He-Man toys and all that kind of thing, and then Visionaries and all these other action figures and Spider-Man and stuff, and just they all just coexisted in this universe. I would play with them, so I love them, but I never collected them as such.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember. I think I'd mentioned it. I inherited a lot of my uncle's old original edition Star Wars collectibles,
Oh yeah,
which I didn't
Yeah,
know
got all
were
of that
worth.
stuff.
I didn't know they were worth a lot of money at the time. I don't think my uncle cared,
Mhm.
and they were open anyway. But it's weird to think of these things that were originally designed for children
Yeah.
have become collector's items.
Well, my brother tried to collect all of the originals, and the last 17, I think it's called, in inverted commas.
Okay.
And I remember being just blown away by him spending, I think, £70 on a
Mhm.
yak face figure.
Yeah,
Just- I mean,
like-
we were pretty young at the time. Well, he's older than me, obviously, but just you're spending that much on a 3.5-inch toy, crazy. And that
Would
was
he
most
would he
expensive.
keep it in mint and not?
It
do
was
anything with it?
unboxed,
Right.
but he had a little plastic case for it. And it was
Wow.
awesome. Maybe it was worth that, and he got it for a little bit of a bargain. But yeah, just
I remember they had
That's
a really cool Darth Vader collect. Oh, or was it C-3PO? They had a collector's case that was either Vader or
it was
C-3.
Vader.
Vader's face, and you open up the front of it. It's got little compartments for all your toys.
That rings a bell.
They made a new version of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, for the 90s release.
Yeah.
They are worth nothing though, because they were so well. The Kenner toys, the very first Star Wars toys were the first of their kind.
Uh-huh.
That's how George Lucas made his money from merchandising,
Mhm.
because the studio didn't take him seriously. So he was like, you know what? Don't give me that much money then, but I want all of the merchandising rights. And they were like, yeah, sure, because no one had ever sold merch on the back of a movie
Yeah.
until then, and then that kind of started it all. Now that's the hot thing. You know, you need the merchandising there.
The best story about
Make
the
money.
action figures when they first started was they weren't made in time for Christmas to cash in on the
That's
huge
right.
success of the movie in 1977. And instead of buying or selling action figures, you bought a box that was empty.
And you sent away for them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they couldn't have them made by Christmas, but they didn't want to lose out on the purchasing centres, so parents would buy their kids
An
empty
empty
boxes.
box.
So it's kind of like pre-orders now.
Yeah, pretty much.
But if you have that box in mint condition,
Oh,
it's
Yeah.
worth more
yeah.
than any of the other figures,
Wow.
because obviously everyone sent it away to
Yeah.
get, or sent the contents away to get the figures.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Insane.
Yeah. I know a little bit about kind of collectibles and stuff, but I always take a step back because I know that if I see like a range of things that I want, it's just going to torment me.
Yeah.
The Gentle Giant stuff. The one thing I really do want is Gentle Giant. The guys who do a lot of kind of busts and sometimes like statuettes.
Yeah.
They do a Star Wars range of book holders, bookends,
Yeah.
and they're always kind of two-part dioramas. One goes at one side, obviously, one goes at the other. So there's one that's Han and Greedo at the bar.
That's cool.
Like, and so he's kind of they're sitting opposite each other, and Han's got his blaster under the table. And there's one of the front door, like both sides of the front door of Jabba's palace. So there's one that's like the bounty hunters and the Gamorrean guard, and then the other one is
Omar Monk, the spider guys.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Matt's doing some great actions.
That's exactly how a spider walks.
You can stop.
With creepy hands.
Yeah.
I don't think spiders have creepy hands.
Legs.
Okay.
Anyway.
But yeah, and there's also, I think possibly my favourite one is the trash compactor. So you kind of have to turn them around because obviously in the trash compactor they're pushing outwards. But they're gorgeous, but they are worth a lot of money, and I just don't have hundreds of pounds for bookends.
I've seen Portal bookends. They're
I
really
got them
cool.
for my best friend for his birthday a couple of years ago.
Yeah, they're cool. Hard to find now though. Like they're all sold out on Amazon and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes you can find them on Forbidden Planet,
Yeah.
but yeah.
They're cool.
Cool. So that was our little chat on collectibles, and it's just making me want more stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
So what has everyone been playing?
I played some Telltale games.
Okay.
I played Tales from the Borderlands and Game of Thrones episode 3, I think I'm on.
Okay.
Yeah. Tales from the Borderlands is awesome. Like, I've never been like a huge fangirl for Borderlands, but like I enjoy them. And Tales from the Borderlands is just awesome because you get to meet the characters. Like, you know, Borderlands kind of do the silent protagonist thing a lot of the time, except for the quips. Fucking, oh, I'm awesome, la la.
The writing in Borderlands has always been one of its strong points.
Well, yeah, that's awesome, and I'm loving these games. Like, they're just funny, and like for a Telltale game, they're really action packed. And there's actually in the most recent one, episode 2, I think it was I played. Like there was actually some kind of puzzle elements to it, so it felt more like a LucasArts game almost as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then Game of Thrones, Telltale. I do enjoy the Telltale Game of Thrones, but it just doesn't feel like a Telltale game to me because it's very obvious that the choices don't matter.
Yeah.
You can pick
That's the
either,
point, yeah.
and the same outcome is going to happen.
Does every episode have like a cameo from one of a character that you
Pretty
would
much,
recognise?
yeah. Like, there's been a lot of like Cersei and Tyrion, and in the episode I just played, the Purple Wedding just happened.
Oh right, okay.
And so you see like Tyrion getting taken away, spoilers, and like Marjorie is there as well. So it's really good, and I'm liking seeing like it's almost like a behind the scenes in Game of Thrones because it's a family that you wouldn't normally see in the show, and I like that I'm able to, you know, be a part of it and make the choices. But again, like. Because there's some we work with who also plays it, so I talk to him about the choices, and it feels like even though we've made different choices, the exact same thing happens. So it just feels a bit empty. But I'm just liking it. It's always like a supplement for the books and the show.
I can kind of relate that to playing Shadow of Mordor, because at the end you know what's happening.
Well, I haven't finished it yet, so shush.
Well, no, in that you have seen Lord of the Rings.
Ages ago, sure.
Oh right, okay.
I don't really like. They're long. I don't have the patience.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Anything else?
I think that was it for me.
Is that not quite a quick release of episode 3 of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, like
2 was a while between, after 1.
Yeah, this seems to happen with Telltale games in general. Like, they get episode 1 out, and it's almost like they just want to get that out so it's there, and then there'll be like 5 months until episode 2. But then after that, they're kind of month to month.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's like they just finish episode 1 as their priority and then work on it from there. But like, hopefully now it will be quick. I don't think it will be done before the show's out, but you know, it's nice to have it to play sort of every month.
Did they say that was the aim? Was that it would kind of fill in a gap?
I thought it would, because there's supposed to be 6 episodes in this Telltale Game of Thrones season, and it came out in December, so that would have been like, they could have paced it well enough so that it would have been out by April, you know, been finished, but they just took so long bringing out episode 2 that it didn't happen.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Matt, you've been playing Batman.
I went back to
Arkham Asylum.
Asylum, yeah, the name's...
You keep on calling it Arkham Knight, but I think it's just because it keeps on coming up in like news feeds.
Asylum's the first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
I played
never
City, but I don't think I played Asylum. I have it, but I haven't.
Asylum benefits from the fact that it's more tightly scripted.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a really good experience that's really well paced.
Yeah.
Whereas Arkham City, as any kind of free roaming game, you can just piss around if you want.
But I'm super excited about that, because my favourite part about being Batman is standing still while you're getting attacked by a gang of guys and you just dodge and one punch them.
Yeah.
But not go into combos, just stand there and wait to be fought. It's really cool.
Arkham City benefits from having obviously larger environments, less enclosed environments, so it's a little bit unrealistic. I mean, it's Batman, but still it's a little bit crazy, because you'll punch someone in the face, and then as long as you're in your combo, you can like push in a completely different direction and like fly across your combat area to kick another guy in the face.
Yeah.
So I'm just
You
trying
can
to figure
kind
out
of
what Matt
pinball
was
around.
saying. You like just being punched?
Well, no.
Dodging
There's a dodge mechanic.
Yeah.
That kind of like spider sense flashes above the enemy's head, and triangle on the PlayStation anyway dodges. So I just walk into a room and if there's a bunch of bad guys, I'll just stand in the centre and only react to them punching me. So triangle then square, so it's just dodge, punch. But I won't hammer square to finish them off. I'll just wait and just slowly take them out, because it's almost it's like role playing Batman. Just, I don't want to do this to you. If you insist on trying to punch me, I will break your arms.
That's awesome. Yeah, I get a bit carried away with the combos, and I'm just sitting there hammering X. Then I'm like, why am I getting owned? And it's like, oh, because I'm not doing anything in time.
I'm glad,
Yeah, I
Matt.
can't do
I'm
combos
glad
either.
you roleplay that in a video game environment.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm being the nice guy. I kind of feel like
Talking about, I really
you
want to break
role-play
people's arms.
being the nice guy.
oh no.
Maybe Matt is Batman.
Is that college humour Batman with it? No, they're just asleep. It's fine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You killed him. No. He's just sleeping really heavily.
You punched him in the throat. I can see he has a broken neck. No, it's fine. I'm Batman. Yeah, maybe you are Batman, but it hasn't gained much traction because all you do is stand out in the street waiting for people to punch you in the face. Matt's actually like really good at hand-to-hand combat.
He's got like a kick me sign on his back, like please.
And he keeps all this shit on his belt, and he won't tell us what it is.
I'm pretty sure one of them's just that spray for cleaning his glasses.
That's important, right?
One is hand lotion.
Vision is really important.
Hand lotion, and one is just a little Lego minifigure of Robin.
About as much use. Yeah.
Cool. Alice, have you been playing anything?
I bought Long Live the Queen.
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
hear more about this game. I've only heard bits and pieces.
It's a little weird. It's one of those games where you look at it and you're like, oh no, that's not my sort of thing, and then you keep hearing about it and you're like, maybe it's my sort of thing. So
Is it a game about bees?
No. What?
I just had an image of bees.
Oh, what, like a queen bee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh well.
No.
Well, it would work. If you die, you become another bee. There's so many of them. Anyway.
Okay.
Like, you probably want to like patent that, like just so no one else hops on that.
No, I'm okay.
I'm here to pitch my idea. What? Well, you're a bee. Okay, go on. What?
It's like mountain. You're a mountain. What else?
Oh, well, okay then.
That's right, a bee.
You've got dances you have to do to tell other bees where the flowers are. And
Is
stuff.
it Connect enabled?
Yes, yes.
And you
my
heard that
God.
right, guys. He doesn't care about it, so this game design is up for picking.
Absolutely.
This could be a new segment. Like every week,
Free game designs.
every week Matt has to design a game.
Happily, honestly.
We'll give him a name, and then he has to design a game based on it.
I've got FPS chess as well.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Anyway, no, sorry, I
Carry on,
just
No, I
go
feel
on.
like it's going to be a letdown now. Anything I say is not going to be as good as whatever that is.
Are there at least
Imagine Matt in front of a Connect, like wiggling his butt to show the other bees where the
dressed as a bee?
He's getting really into it. More
Yeah,
roleplay.
like panicking because he needs to tell them where the food is, otherwise they're all gonna die.
Yeah, like maybe there's like a choice-based element in the game. Like you can decide to just like steal all the food for yourself.
Who's getting more into this now? There we go.
Here's my notepad. Do you just want to?
Sorry,
God.
Okay.
guys. Tell us about the
I
game.
can't even.
Tell us about the
Okay,
game.
right.
So you're a bee.
So you're a princess, a pretty princess. The game is very pink.
Okay.
You turn it on and you're like, okay, well maybe this isn't the sort of thing and I shouldn't have bought it. And then you play it and you're like, holy shit. Because basically, your mother's been murdered.
Okay.
She's the queen, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to survive long enough to become
the
queen.
So what, till like your coronation or,
Yeah.
or till you come of age or let's say
For your coronation.
Yeah, okay.
It's like 40 weeks or something you have to survive. So
okay.
it's like a Japanese sim thing. So you have to
Oh God.
choose which skills you want to level up each week. But like,
Octopus repellent. That's the first.
it's one of the ways you can die.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
What?
Of course it is. We
no.
did promise on episode 1. Speaking about weird Japanese things.
That's true.
Basically, like your moods change depending on what you choose to do and how you react to things, and then how you feel like dictates which skills you can level up and stuff like that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that
so
sounds cool.
you can be depressed, but you'll be really good at like
Poetry.
owning your reflexes and dancing for when you have to go to balls and impress the nobles so that they
Yeah.
don't assassinate you. And when you're angry, you'll be really good at studying military tactics because you need to win a war against the foreigners.
I love the thought of a ninja who's like just about to make the stab blow. She's like, that was a gorgeous pirouette. No, not today. Not
It
today.
sounds a bit like, have you played the game the Yowl or the Yorg?
No.
It's kind of similar in that you've got, I think it's like 8 weeks. You've got 8 weeks to prepare for something that's coming. You don't know until you played the game, and so you can go through. You can play it multiplayer, so everyone's doing different things. And each week you can spend your time in the library, or you can go to like the palace and level up your charisma, and you level up all different skills. And then when the Yowl, I don't know how it's pronounced. Whenever that comes, if you've done the right things, then your town will survive. But if not, then the town just gets destroyed.
So are you not saying what it is for spoilers' sake?
Yeah,
Or-
just
right.
like-
Okay.
Just
Or
in
I wasn't
case
sure if
anyone
it was
wants to play
that
the
or
game.
it was randomly generated.
No, I know what it is, but I just don't want to spoil it for anyone who wants to play, because it's a really cool idea for a game. Like, it's simple, like, you're just looking at a map the whole time and you just decide where to go, and then it's like when you go to the places random events happen. Like, you could spend your time in the gardens and maybe there'll be a frog that you need to kiss, and then things could happen, or you go to the forest to hunt animals, but maybe something else will happen. And yeah, it's a cool idea. It sounds very similar to the Long Live the Queen
Well, basically
idea.
in Long Live the Queen, you just can't do anything. Like, every time an event comes up and it says, would you like to do this? Or do you want to just stay in your room? You have to just stay in your room, otherwise you'll die.
Right, okay.
Like, someone sends you chocolates that are poisonous, someone sends you flowers that are poisonous. You go into the gardens, you get bit by a snake, and you die.
But I'm guessing that's half the fun of the game, is just finding out all the different ways you can die.
Yeah, like all the trading cards and all the achievements are different ways you can die.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds
So-
actually pretty cool.
You're playing the game and struggling to survive, and then Steam will go, oh, you got a trading card, do you want to look at it? No, I don't want to look at it.
So does it pop up just before it happens?
No, you just kind of, you get trading cards randomly, but
Alright.
like, you'll get a thing saying, like, for instance, if you get the chocolates and you've not leveled up your poison skill enough to detect that they're poisonous chocolates, it'll come up saying poison failed, and you're just like, oh fuck.
So wait, you don't elect to eat them, it's just as soon as someone sends you
If
them.
you've like leveled up your faith enough that you're able to like kind of foretell things that are going to happen, or if you've leveled up your poison enough, then you'll be able to choose not to eat them.
Right.
So
Otherwise,
It sounds a little
Just
arbitrary
use
in that, you know, if you haven't leveled up enough, then oh well, never mind. Like,
a little bit,
do
yeah.
you get a little bit better every time, or is it just you die and then you start at the beginning again?
You start at the beginning again, and you basically just have to reevaluate how you're
Your
spending your
priorities.
time. But there is like a lot of choices that you can make. Like, for instance, at the start, this woman turns up who wants to be your advisor to teach you magic, but your dad says that she's the one who killed your mother. So you can either let her go, imprison her, or let her teach you. So you can go through the whole game not learning magic,
Okay.
but obviously that might screw you over later.
hmm
But yeah, so there's loads of different things that can screw you up or help you out, and you don't really know.
That sounds really cool.
That does sound pretty
But
cool.
you know what else it sounds a little bit like? Hatterful Boyfriend. Like, I
That's
know
the pigeon.
it's the pigeon dating simulator, but that's similar in that you can choose to go to class and like level up your mathematics skill, and then one of the pigeons will like you more because you're more intelligent. Things like that. I do like games like that though, where you have to choose which things to do, and it affects the game later on. Yeah, it's cool.
Cool. I kind of wish I'd brought a weird Japanese game. No.
Maybe we should do that for next time. Everyone should play a really weird Japanese game.
Well, I was thinking,
I
like,
could
you
watch
know,
anime for the first time.
you know, on Steam, there's always like the games that are like £1.29, and it's just like some random.
I want
ass
to play
thing.
Yander Simulator.
Yeah.
Even
Yander?
though, like the one where you play a girl who wants to get the attention of the boy by killing everyone else.
God.
oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
I've seen a playthrough of that. Or
I sent a link around a couple of weeks ago,
And it's like
and it's
people
just
react.
horrifying.
Like, you kill people and then get covered in blood, and then people react differently
Yeah.
to you, and
And
then
you
you can do a crazy
act
laugh to like let
differently,
off
yeah.
steam.
you
to
start
calm
like
yourself
twitching
down.
when you're insane. And
Yeah,
stuff
like,
that.
it's-
great.
It's just
if
really.
I'd said any of that, you would all be calling me insane.
Well,
But it's fine. When
it's
you...
not just the things that you say, Matthew.
Yeah, it's also all the bodies.
Yeah, like they're starting
yeah,
to
right.
smell a bit funny.
There's a game that I did wish I played this week, which was like Minecraft.
Okay.
Because they put out their April Fool's update, and it just looked hilarious. Like, I hope people believed it as well, because it was just so funny.
So, did any of it actually make it in?
Yeah, they put out like a special like snapshot, so you could just play that version of it. Like, it wouldn't affect your other games or anything. But like, I printed off the patch notes and brought them with me because I just thought they were just so funny. Like, for instance, chickens can now be ridden by any player less than 2 blocks tall, and sheep will, if asked nicely, share their wool to keep you warm. It's a love and hugs update,
Oh,
so
right,
everything
okay.
just loves you. Blazes are actually pretty cool guys and will defend you from harm. And my personal favourite was horses can no longer be ridden as this was deemed unfair to the horses. And then it says underneath, in compensation to the horses, they can now ride on your shoulders. I actually saw a video of this happening, and it's hilarious. Like, the horse is like standing on the player, like rearing, and it's just
Yeah.
arms are moving around,
Wow.
and it looks amazing. But I just thought that it was just such a funny thing for Mojang to do.
It reminds me a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys saw Goat Simulators.
Mhm.
They do really hilarious patch notes as
Mhm.
well.
But I think maybe it's in response to the fact that people are thinking that Minecraft is too violent, so they were just like, fine, there's no violence anymore.
Oh, it's
Is that not in
ridiculous.
Turkey or something?
Well, there is a thing in Turkey. Turkey have really strict rules about violence at all, like any form of it.
Mhm.
But they have said that Minecraft is too violent,
Yeah.
which is a bit ridiculous. But
Like, there's not even any blood in the game.
yeah, but there was a thing.
Insane.
There's a big thing in the UK recently that there's a group who are trying to propose that if you let your child play basically something that they shouldn't be playing, that it's neglect.
Oh, I heard about this, yeah.
Um,
And, like, I think the school can get them in trouble and
it's
the police can
it's
get
basically if a teacher overhears them talking about Call
Yeah.
of Duty at lunchtime.
I do kind of understand that. Like, yes, it's the parent's decision, but I think a lot of the time the parent isn't really making the choice because
No.
they're not informed about the game. They're
As-
just buying it because their kid wants it.
As someone who worked in several game stores, I
Mhm.
can definitely see both sides of this argument.
Yeah, yeah.
I got quite a lot of kind of baleful glares from small children who would run up to the counter with Grand Theft Auto and slap it on the desk, and then I'd be like, "All right, have you got ID?" He's like, "Oh no, my mum's with me," and then this woman would come up like on her phone or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
totally not bothered, just handing
Did you
me
sell
money.
it to them?
No, well,
Yeah.
there would be time. Basically, every time I always made sure that the mum knew exactly what she was buying.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially, I can't be like, well, no, I can't sell this to you. Because, she's obviously old enough.
Yeah.
So I always took it really seriously, because it's not the mum that'll take responsibility. She'll be like, they sold my child this. It's like, well, no, we sold you this.
Actually, it doesn't work that way, because even if you sell alcohol to an adult and you know it's for a minor, you're not allowed to do so.
You have the right to refuse, but I think if I was in Ross's position, I would also give the parent the right to choose. Like I would let them know what's in the game.
I agree that you should be able to choose.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's.
I played the first GTA when I was about 10.
Yeah, I played it.
But it's a top-down game, and fair enough, there's massive blood splatters and stuff.
I actually wrote kind of a blog about this, like on my personal blog, like the first violent game that you've played, and mine was Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot when you're reading the text that, as a 10-year-old kid, you're like, what does any of this mean?
I seriously remember such a bold memory from my childhood reading on the bottom screen, "You've been arrested for murder 1," and I was like, awesome! A new game.
But meanwhile, digital cockfighting is the biggest game in the world. Pokemon.
Really? Pokemon. But it's different.
But if you wanted to look at it like that, you could.
Yeah.
They don't die, they faint.
It's not the biggest game in the world.
And
they're just sleeping really
animated.
But it's huge.
Yeah, but so is COD, where you literally kill other humans.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not saying it refers to animal welfare. You could. I'm not, but you could. Argue the same case.
Okay.
I think if you can couch it in a way that the jokes go over the child's head, I think it's fine. So I think Pokemon gets away with it on that, as does Mario, which is just a giant metaphor for drug use.
Absolutely.
And he's also a psychopath.
Yeah. When you actually, who would ram their head into a floating brick expecting coins to come out
And
of it?
he's just like, I watched this whole video by Game Theory about it, just like he just takes information from so many different Mario games and just proves that Mario is a complete psychopath, to the point where he's just like, he's just, the way he acts towards his brother, he's just like horrible to his brother, and all Luigi wants to do is just tag along and join in on the adventure, and Mario is just like stamping on his foot and doesn't like him, and it's just so mean.
Yeah, I always preferred Luigi.
Yeah, everyone does.
I don't know. I heard that Luigi's a bit of a heel.
No, I think everyone likes Luigi better.
It's all about Wario anyway. I love Wario.
Waluigi, he's purple.
I know this is going to sound really weird, but Waluigi gives off the vibe of a sex offender, I think.
Yeah, I can see that though. That's the thing.
It's the little, he just looks kind of...
They all look a bit...
He looks creepy.
Yeah.
That's okay, because he's a bad guy. Wario's just a fat weirdo.
Now that I think about it, the Mario Brothers do have a hint of the Chuckle Brothers to them.
Yeah, totally.
With the moustaches.
And I was also saying in work the other day, I liked Mario as a kid, but it was never the sort of thing that I was really into, because as a little girl, I didn't want to play as a fat, mustachioed plumber. That wasn't anything that appealed to me.
I know a guy, a guy recently remade Mario Brothers with Peach for his daughter.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
I never played it.
Cool. Well, speaking of Nintendo, Nintendo is coming to mobile. They've recently signed a deal with, I think it's DNA in Japan, which is a massive mobile phones company.
Yeah.
Mobile phone game company.
I'm not that surprised, to be honest. I think it was on its way.
I think the only thing that is surprising about it is how long Iwata, the head of Nintendo, was saying it's never going to happen. We don't water down our IP.
I'm a bit surprised that they teamed up with someone else to do it. Nintendo surely have the capabilities to do this on their own.
I think what this is, they've bought a 12% share.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, each company has a small amount.
They have, obviously, 12% in Nintendo is massive.
Oh, yeah.
No, is it not a value?
I think it
is.
is.
2 million or 2 billion?
It's something like that, maybe.
Of each. So they get 12% of the small company, while the small company get 0.5% of Nintendo.
Yeah,
or something.
it's probably something like that, now that I think about it.
Mm.
But, so, the fact that it's Nintendo, they'll have battered out an agreement that means we get final say on everything.
Yeah, and they've said there's not going to be any remakes or anything. They're going to make games that are designed for mobile.
Which is what you would expect for Nintendo.
But yeah, again, I'm not surprised, because maybe around a year ago, maybe less, they filed patents saying that their games and stuff, I can't remember exactly, I'll put links in the blog, but they basically filed patents saying that their IP could be used on mobile devices, especially things. It almost hinted towards it was going to be like on flight TVs.
All right, like for planes.
Yeah, unless I'm remembering it wrong. But then also, like recently, they brought out Pokemon Shuffle, which is a free-to-play game just for 3DS, which has microtransactions, and it's just a Connect 3 game.
You see other
toe in the water of that kind of.
And they've had it before as well. Like it's nothing new.
Well, you see other companies that have ported what were considered console-level games to like tablets and phones.
And
Like
it never works.
Final Fantasy VI went over to the iPad, and apparently it was a complete
And
abomination.
BioShock is on iOS as well, and
Yeah.
like it's like they've taken out quite a lot of it, and it just seems like a game that I wouldn't want to use a touchscreen for. Like it's a shooter.
It's one
kind
thing
of.
you can always trust Nintendo to do is build a game around what they're playing it on.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that Nintendo have always done, and that's what kind of makes me want a Wii U.
Absolutely.
The fact that they have such a big stake in the handheld market.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying that they're doing it to get the wider gaming audience used to their IP.
Yeah.
Which, if there's one company in the world that you'd think has a pretty strong IP, it's Nintendo.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I think they're kind of our generation's Disney to some extent.
They are, but I can't blame them for wanting to get a small slice.
Oh,
of
absolutely
who
not.
With a phone capable of playing these games, wouldn't want to. They're just. I'm really looking forward to it.
It'll be interesting to see what they can do, especially because they're saying it's not just a port, and you know they're going to have some of the best designers in the world making these games.
People have already made jokes, like for instance, like in Pokemon, obviously you go to Pokemon Center to heal, and people have made jokes that you'll have to like pay each time you want to do that. Like I don't think that's the thing that's ever going to happen.
I don't
But
think
like
they
you
would.
know, the thing is, Nintendo could do that, and they would make a shit ton of money from it because people would want
That
to
would
play
be.
it.
I hate that kind of game. That would really disappoint me.
Yeah.
I don't mind paying an upfront fee to have a full game, and that's it.
I mean, the thing is, people criticise Nintendo for never moving forwards. And I think this is a big step, but how they actually execute it is going to be, you know, people are going to accuse them of selling out whatever they do.
Yeah.
But I think Nintendo know their audience well enough that they're not going to make any concessions that they can't justify.
Well, it works quite well in Pokemon Shuffle. I know Alice plays it as well, but basically it's quite a similar system to Candy Crush. Like you have lives, and you can have up to 5 at a time, and they recharge over time.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, and like if you want to buy more lives to keep playing, you can. If you want to buy like in-game cash so you can get like power-ups during the level, you can if you want. You don't have to. You can earn the in-game cash just by playing it. But it works well. I've spent 89p on the game because there was a boss I was stuck on. I was really frustrated, and I have fun playing it. Like I think I've put like 30 hours into that game. So 89p for 30 hours is not bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with giving some money towards it. Obviously, you, as you say, you've got that time out of it. It's just it's the games where you either have to pay to advance, or just the downright ridiculous prices.
Yeah, I hate
if they were
things
just
like that.
remotely reasonable.
Dungeon
I would
Keeper
happily
was
do
the
that.
one that was really egregious for that, because it took a franchise that people know and love and kind of bastardized it with this.
Did it not have
payment
a
scheme.
hellish backlash for it?
Yeah, it did, and it wasn't any worse than any other game of that kind. It was just because it's a name that people know.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you can still buy Dungeon Keeper for
You can.
PC. So like, they took a game that people could just go play elsewhere, and they were like, no, you have to spend
Yeah,
lots
they
of money.
put it on Good Old Games, I think. You
Yeah,
can't get it
yeah.
on Steam, but you can get it on GOG,
Yeah.
which is really good. Pokemon actually seems like the kind of game that would be perfect for mobile, because you don't necessarily need a very intuitive interface, because it's all turn-based, right?
Well, you do walk around and stuff, but mostly turn-based.
But like, you don't need Twitch reactions so
No.
much.
Like, that's what the Grahams in the office have been doing at the moment. They have Pokemon emulators on their phone.
All right, okay.
Yeah, have you not noticed them, like, yelling about it?
I've heard a lot of Pokemon chat, but I figured that was always you're doing, you guys.
No, they made
How
fun
dare
of
you,
us.
sir?
And they started
Yeah,
playing.
they made fun of us for Pokemon, and now that they came in on Monday, and that's all they were talking about.
Team full of Geodudes.
Yeah.
All right, well, I like Geodudes.
Fuck off.
Only Geodudes.
I don't
Only
know
Geodudes.
that many Pokemon, but I know that they are a rock with biceps.
Yeah. And that's... Graham says it's the only good Pokemon, but he's...
And they're all called Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4.
And Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'll jump us forward onto movies and TV. Basically, just TV. Game of Thrones is coming back.
Yay!
in like a week's time.
Is it
Oh,
really
shit,
that
is it-
soon?
It's the 13th it comes out in the UK.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not far. I don't really watch any serious drama. Like, well, I don't know if you could call it a serious drama. There's certainly plenty of drama.
Yeah.
But I don't really watch anything else. Game of Thrones got a bit crap during season. The Walking Dead got a bit crap.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold your
during
fucking tongue.
during season 3.
Wow. Put the sword away.
Sophia is very upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm quite excited to see Game of Thrones return. It's perfect water cooler conversation. Game of
yeah,
Thrones.
The Office is going to be like ripe with conversation of it. Like if you're not watching it on the day it comes out,
You're in trouble.
We're going to be getting spoilers.
Yeah.
So excited.
Have any of you guys read the books? I haven't.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the 4th book, so it's like
You're just
coming
catching up to the
yeah.
show.
Well, like I'm a bit further than what the show just ended on.
Oh right,
but
okay.
It's really boring at the moment. I'll be honest. Like it's all about the Greyjoys, and I don't care. Oh my god, they're so boring.
Yeah, just a lot of grumpy guys and some incest, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that kind of the whole thing?
I suppose.
That's kind of
That's not just their family.
No.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, the books are great. Like, there's a lot in the books that you would miss out. You miss out on a lot in the show, basically, as you do with everything that's converted to a movie or TV.
Yeah.
But my sister got into Game of Thrones, and she was like, "Oh, I wanted to know what happened after the last season, so I've started reading the book from where it left off." Like, so she didn't start from book 1; she started from book 4, and I'm like, "No, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you need to start from the beginning." And she was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like." It's kind of different. Like you can't just start from wherever you want.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I was going to compare it to Harry Potter, but I'm not going to.
Well, it was kind of. Well, I've only seen the first maybe 3 films, and I've only read the first 5 books.
Yeah.
But I certainly saw a lot of that, and that kind of put me off the films quite a lot.
Yeah.
They're not bad films, but the books are
Books
almost
fantastic.
always better.
Yeah,
Same
I
with
think
comic.
that's
Same with
inevitable.
comic books and The Walking Dead, for example. So.
Alice, you're being quiet. Okay.
Well, TV-wise, I'm watching Attack on Titan.
Oh, I've been
That's
wanting to
anime.
watch that. God, it
Really
looks
fun,
good.
and
yeah.
it's about to get crazy.
I've heard
You
it's
just turn
amazing.
around and there's a giant Titan staring at him.
Yeah.
Matt just put on a backwards baseball cap for that.
Shit's about to get
Shit's about to
real.
get crazy.
Did I really say that? I don't even remember. Oh, no.
Your
I
voice.
blacked out.
You got so excited, your voice even cracked a little
Yeah,
bit.
it did. You
It's
know,
gonna
that's
get
a
crazy,
good-
yo.
Oh,
But
Ross,
yeah, it's really fun. It's a really fun watch. I'm
Yeah.
really early in the season, but yeah, it's cool.
It's like completely over the. That's its thing, is that it's really over the top, right? Isn't that?
kind of.
I've heard it
There's
described
giants.
as ridiculous even for anime.
And you, I don't know. I wouldn't
They
say that.
announced
No?
a live action
Again,
movie
early.
for it.
They are, yeah. That's kind of cool, but I like it as its
Yeah.
anime itself.
Well, look what they did with. Was it Naruto? No,
Naruto.
The Last Airbender.
Oh, Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't bother even following that. I don't watch that much anime. I'm still trying to catch up on Full Metal Alchemist, and I started watching that 8 years ago. So I kind of went off that for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some awesome things in there.
I think maybe last episode Roshi spoke about Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I can't remember if you actually
Oh, yeah.
mentioned it in the episode or if we were just talking about it in work. But fuck, I watched that whole season in like 2 days.
It's good, yeah. Me and
so
Cara did
good.
as well.
I just wasn't expecting it because the description is kind of like, oh, a young girl tries to make her way in New York for the first time, like, and I'm like, this sounds shit.
Yeah.
And then I had kind of a free day, and I was like, oh, I'll just put it on because it's Tina Fey who produces it, and it just
And writes it.
yeah, and I just wanted something easy to watch. And oh my god, it's so good.
The first episode, I was like, she's annoying, but she's kind of charming.
For those who don't know, it's like basically about these women who were kidnapped and stuck in an underground bunker because of like this guy was said that the apocalypse had happened and he was keeping them safe. So it was like a cult basically.
Like Grease too.
Oh god, not that again. Oh god.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Also, no, they're like, yeah.
Anyway, So then 15 years after they get kidnapped, they're free, and so like she still thinks it's like the year 98 because I think it's set like 2 years previous.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. It's more just all of her cultural touchstones
Yeah.
are like 15 years out of date.
Yeah, like someone gives her an iPhone, and she's like, "Is this a Macintosh?"
Yeah,
Wow.
but she's trying to keep it secret because
Yeah.
she's ashamed of. Well, she's embarrassed.
She just doesn't want all the attention, basically.
Yeah.
Like that's why she moved to New York. Because if she went back to, is it Indiana?
Yeah.
If she went back there, everyone knows her. Everyone would like give her all this unwanted attention. So she didn't want that. She moved to New York, and there's like a few characters who know her secret, but she just kind of keeps it to herself.
Yeah,
And it's just so funny, like her interactions with people, and like just how she faces like living in 2000, whatever year it's 2015.
yeah. I
thought
think it's modern.
I thought it was set in 2013 because she says she went in there in 98 and then it's 15 years later.
Maybe
But, you know,
they
either
filmed it
way.
a while ago.
What about the other ladies?
Oh, well, they go back to Indiana and, like, they kind of just reap the attention.
Yeah,
basically.
one of them. So one of them, she was like a little Kimmy, like looked after her, and then there was one who is like a Spanish woman who doesn't speak any English.
Yeah, she lived there for 15 years and didn't learn English.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't give away
Yeah.
everything.
yeah. There's more to that story,
Yeah.
but one of them like loved it. She
went
loved
there
being in the
willingly.
bunker.
She listened to the Reverend and she was like, I liked his ideas, so I went with him.
She's nostalgic and wants them to go back.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
She's really funny because she's like properly
She's
crazy.
insane, yeah.
Yeah, like religious crazy. It's great.
It's just such a good show. I was not expecting it. It had a very Mean Girls vibe, obviously, because it's Tina Fey who did it, and it was just so funny. Like, it felt like New Girl meets Mean Girls meets Apocalypse Cult.
It didn't make me laugh as much as 30 Rock did.
I still haven't watched any 30 Rock.
You absolutely, definitely should watch it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely hilarious.
And just fucking, like, Titus as well is such a funny character.
Well,
like,
he
he's so
plays
over
a
the top.
character in 30 Rock
Right,
as well.
okay.
Who
He's
is
so over the top, it's
equally
great.
camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that was like the highlight of my weekend, discovering that show was amazing. So,
Wow.
yeah. I would definitely recommend it to, like, everyone. It's so good.
Did anyone else? Have you been watching anything, Alice?
I'm
or-
still just struggling through American Horror Story, and I think it's breaking me.
Why do you watch it if it freaks you out?
Because it's good. It's
Okay.
just like, it's one of those things that you have to watch even if you're like struggling
Well,
with what you're seeing.
You could, like, I started struggling when Dexter got to, like, season 7, and I didn't watch that anymore because it got dumb as shit. So,
No, it is still good.
Okay.
You've watched
I
it,
have
you
watched
know.
it. It's really good. Season 2 is really
It's
fun
really
as well.
good. But
I mean, fun as serial killer.
it's really
times.
fun. Like, all those people being skinned, that was hilarious.
No, it's really...
I went through 3 notebooks with ideas.
No,
It's like planning a wedding.
It is
Got a
really
binder.
good, but you just, like, you forget how awful it is, and you're sat watching it expecting it to get better, and it just gets way worse
like,
than
Alice
you could
was,
ever think.
Alice
Yeah,
was
I
doing the
agree.
equivalent of live tweeting it to me.
Alright.
We were just having a Facebook conversation, and then she just started going, "Oh my god, what's happening? Oh Christ, that's a bot!" Blah.
But it was the bit where the guy who's, like, got suicidal thoughts, he's a patient in the asylum,
Okay.
and it's when that woman appears who's got the wings and stuff.
Okay.
And she just tells him to go and cut his wrists open on a big massive fucking saw.
Oh,
And
yeah, in
I'm
the
talking,
kitchen.
yeah, and I'm talking to
Yes.
Sophia going, "Oh my god, this
Yeah,
is
that's
happening.
harsh.
It's
And
not
I'm
really
just
going
there
to
like,
happen."
"Lol."
Because you expect it to just stop, and it
No,
doesn't
it's-
stop.
Oh, like it never cuts away.
It just does.
Yes.
Oh, that's-
See, yeah, it's just a classic gore fest.
That's
If you
just
like that kind
spray
of
all
That's what I like about Game of Thrones.
Oh, it's,
Is
oh.
it doesn't coddle you. Like I remember, like the Red Wedding. Oof.
I'd say that fight with the Mountain and Oberyn
That-
Martell was the worst.
Yes.
That was the worst.
That
If
made
you
me
take
gag.
those moments in Game of Thrones and just make a season
Relay
that
them one after
entirely
the other.
consists of that feeling,
That is the reason for...
that is
American
American
Horror.
Horror Story.
All right, okay. I
Because
might,
it
I
is
might watch that.
Horrifying.
I always thought it was more of like a drama. Like I always thought it was like Desperate Housewives, but set like
The first
in a horror
one
thing. And it
isn't-
sounds like it's just fucking crazy.
Part of me kind of wants to watch that.
Yeah, that's cool, wouldn't
The
it?
first one isn't so bad,
Okay.
but that's because all the characters are really human. So you can see that there's good parts to them and there's bad parts to them. So it's not like scary in any way,
Uh-huh.
really. But the second one is just fucking batshit insane. Like
They
I have
do-
no idea what's going on.
They return to a more normal sense in season 3. I mean, there is a Frankenstein in it, but
I think it is just because it's an
That's about it.
asylum that they've just gone that extra bit of crazy because of where it is. Like, it's a
Yeah.
typical horror setting rather than some people in their house.
Okay.
So,
Good.
because there's like actual exorcisms being done
Mm.
and demons and shit like that. And
What
I'm
were you
just
going to
like,
say,
what
Matt?
even
You were
is
sitting with
this?
your mouth hanging open.
Yeah, I just remembered. I was watching The Burbs a while ago, one of my favourite movies.
Right.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks and
Is it
Corey Feldman, possibly? One of those chaps that is from The Lost Boys. But my girlfriend was watching it with us, and instantly, as soon as she saw the street, she was like, "That's Desperate Housewives." that's Bree's house up the road there. And the guy that goes missing with the toupee, and anyone that's watched it'll see it, it'll know what I'm talking about. And she's right. I looked it up on Wiki and all that kind of thing, and it's that same set that Desperate Housewives used as The Burbs. And The Burbs is one of my favourite movies.
Do you think it's one of those things where it's actually like
It's just a
there's
studio.
a theory where it's set in the same universe? So like all this
Oh.
stuff
Yeah.
happens, and then all the
Oh, that would
housewives
be
moved
awesome.
in after.
like
Like,
with
wouldn't that be cool?
like with Aliens and Predator?
Well, it's the set of well, obviously it's going to be the set of loads of other things, but you can look it up and it's just awesome. She looked instantly, just looked at it. That's Bree's house right there. It's okay.
That's good. I like that.
No, it's
was
Carrie
up-
Fisher's house. Leave it alone.
It was upsetting for me because I know someone who took a picture in front of the house from Charmed, the TV show. Carol loves Charmed, and I hate Charmed.
Charmed
It's
sucks. Let's
it's
get real.
awful. It makes me glad that Cara's watching Buffy again. Like Cara does them in a rotation, so it would be all the seasons of Buffy, all the seasons of Charmed, all the seasons of Buffy. I managed to break it with Battlestar Galactica.
Wow. Not something like what's his name? Not Spike, the other guy.
Angel.
Oh, Angel. Apparently she's never seen Angel, but I
Really?
guess that's probably because Angel
What?
has no character.
No, but Spike's in it.
Much.
Spoilers, I guess.
Um,
Because he kind of comes back to life after he dies. And then,
Well,
Alice,
that's-
come on, the show is only 10 years old.
that is kind of the theme of Buffy, and I
Yeah.
guess dead,
I mean,
but not
Angel,
really.
Angel kind of is the same, but it goes a bit weird. Like, they try quite hard to keep it going, I think.
It
Like,
went pretty
there's...
weird with Buffy, to be honest.
No, well, but I didn't think Buffy was that bad, but like in Angel there's babies that shouldn't exist and shit like that, so...
What was the story about the picture in the Charmed house?
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, basically, just a friend took a picture. I knew she was in San Francisco, and she took a picture in front of a house on a hill in San Francisco, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what that house in the background. I don't even need to read the caption because you see so many just as they set the scene.
Yeah.
You see so many pictures of the outside of that bloody house, and I was right. It was the Charmed house.
That show, it just annoys me so much. Like when I was a student and would sit in all day watching TV while I was revising, like I'd want to sit and watch like How I Met Your Mother and all the comedy and stuff, and then they'd break it up with Charmed, and I'd be like, oh, go away. And I would just go onto E4+1 and watch whatever I just watched because I didn't want to have to watch Charmed. I'd rather watch the same two shows over again than watch Charmed
It was
because
awful.
fucking hell.
You could have done anything else.
No.
I like,
But like the light box, it had my
and the thing is, it's so obvious how they've tried to make it appeal to men by having
Yeah.
just three beautiful women in very skimpy clothing for most of the episodes.
But which would you rather watch, Charmed or Ghost Whisperer?
What the fuck is Ghost Whisperer?
Well, then that answers that.
It's Jennifer Love
Yeah.
Hewitt.
Oh no! Oh no! I do know that.
Of
Yeah.
course you do.
It's like the Sixth Sense. Why? Why would I know that? Oh, what?
Because it's like...
It's like The Sixth Sense in that it's already spoiled because
She sees dead people.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, but if you've not seen that movie, jeez.
If you haven't
heard
figured
the
that
title.
out from the name,
Ghost
you always
Whisperer.
can't. You always
I
turn it
wonder what
on.
this movie's
You
gonna
always,
be about.
you always
she
turn it
just-
on just after the credits are finished at the start. It's like, oh, what's this?
Is this about like a
You
woman
don't-
that just walks up to people in the street and goes, ghosts? Ghosts!
That's actually the prequel to American Horror Story.
I'm sure I saw an episode or two of it and just thought,
Nah.
rubbish.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh,
That's the Goat Whisperer you're thinking of.
Nah. Nah.
No, let's not go there.
So,
Oh, that's wimpy.
so I was going to do a science section, but we are past an hour now. We're at about an hour and 5.
Oh, jinx.
So we can,
We'll talk about aliens next time.
yeah, we'll talk about aliens next time we record.
We'll do that at the start so we don't forget.
Yeah, yeah, we'll mix it up a little bit.
Aliens.
I'm going to be watching Contact over the weekend, so that'll be a good time.
Oh, you mean Interstellar?
No, the original Interstellar.
Yeah.
Contact.
Cool. So until then, you can contact us on Twitter. That's I don't know what that is. There's probably.
I'm not putting that in the blog, whatever that is.
There's definitely an Urban Dictionary.
Matt's gonna Google that when he goes home.
Tactical.
It's just docking.
Right, okay, just finish the podcast so that I can leave.
Don't Google
Matt can go
that.
home and Google it.
Don't Google that.
Googles everything. That's offensive.
So
I'm innocent.
you can get a hold of us at SplittingPixPod on Twitter or at facebook.com/SplittingPixelsPodcast. And we actually have a new email address that you can contact us on if you want any questions for the show. And that is email splittingpixels@gmail.com. And Sophia, the blog address, do you know off the top of your head?
I do, but it'll be on all of those things.
Okay,
so it's okay.
cool.
They can use their computers.
Cool. So we will have a
Like
blog
normal people.
up for this and any other episodes that we're doing as well. So thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.